Hi Pisces. So, welcome to your mid-June 2019 Tarot and Astrology reading. Welcome back to my channel. And let's dive a little bit into the full moon in Sagittarius on the 17th of June. I've got a bit of a tricky climate here. Mars and Pluto doing funny things. Their opposition, your ruler Neptune in your sign is clashing with Jupiter. And the full moon in Sagittarius, and Saturn is doing funny things with Mars too. So what gives? This full moon, Pisces, is going to illuminate your career, and you might find you're kind of indecisive because Jupiter being in Sagittarius this year is meant to be great for your career, but it's kind of not getting along so well with your ruler in your first house. So what are you? Like, who are you? What do you want to do with your life? What do you think your dream career path is? What do you think your dream job is? How do you think people see you? Because chances are, Pisces, once Neptune has gone retrograde, you're going to have, along with the information you receive during this full moon, you're going to have a much more you're going to have a lot more to think about in terms of who you are and the messages that you give, because as a Pisces, those two fish, people don't always know who they get. Trust me, I'm a rising in Pisces, and I find the differences in first impressions to others that I give off is so odd. Queen of Cups, this is you. This is you being yourself. You're watery, emotional, creative, intuitive, magical, ethereal self, right? That's who you are. Just in case you didn't know, that is who you are. Pisces, whether or not you are a musician, an actor, or an accountant, you are an artist. In what it is, I don't know. Maybe you simply create joy for somebody else, for other people. Maybe you selflessly give back. Maybe you create beautiful paintings, beautiful pictures. Maybe, Pisces, funnily enough, your sign creeps into the charts very often of the rich and famous, of the business-minded folk out there. For example, a lot of people don't think about this, but Kim Kardashian has a moon in Pisces, and I know that she's a kind of... she can be quite a triggering example for some people. They don't always like it. But the moon in Pisces can have both. You can be intuitive and emotional and magical and mystical, but you can also be an absolute boss in your chosen profession. The thing is, Pisces, you are a creator no matter what you do for a living. So if you're thinking of changing it up and going after your creative path, this full moon will illuminate a way for you to do that. If you're thinking of changing career, again, the full moon will illuminate a way to do that. It's a pretty good full moon. It's pretty potent energy for wishes. And as we lead into Cancer season on the 21st, although your ruler is going retrograde on the same day, Cancer season is a lot more of a party for you in many ways. It's that fifth house, romantic, exciting energy, Pisces. So as heavy as it feels during Gemini season, moving on into Cancer season is going to feel lovely, even though your ruler going retrograde in your first house may wobble your confidence from time to time, but that's okay. Sometimes those setbacks are needed to teach you how to appreciate yourself more. And if you are, Pisces, dealing with a Libra, they have something to say around the full moon. If you're dealing with a legal matter, it too has something to say around the full moon. Okay? Eight of Pentacles, you're putting in the effort to something pretty strongly. You're very afraid of this. And understandably, it's not the prettiest picture in the world. But we'll get there. Six of Swords in the positive. The challenge is the Page of Cups, and the outcome is the Two of Swords. The Knight of Swords, Page of Swords, and the Two of Wands. Pisces, you're so indecisive. Good Lord. Nine of Wands. Okay. Your duality has come to the fore in Gemini season, and you don't quite know how to balance it out again. The air signs might help. The air signs in your life might make something really very clear to you that you thought was impossible to solve. So Pisces, let's have a little bit of a closer look. The air signs feature strongly. The Aquarians, the Libras, and the Gemini, in particular Libra. Page of Cups in the challenge now. Your little dreamy self is unhappy about something. And I don't blame you, because with your ruler not getting along with Jupiter was your traditional ruler, by the way, so identity crisis is putting it bluntly. If all you're concerned about is love and you don't want to know about what's going on within yourself and your psyche, then maybe that's why your love life is in a problematic state. Everything comes back to source. Everything comes back from within, and whatever is within you at the moment, Pisces, is hurting a bit, and you need to have a little bit of an examination. Your ruler going retrograde is going to help you slow down. Now, we came here a lot to talk about the full moon, so let's talk about it. Full moon in Sagittarius for Pisces is illuminating your position of power or lack thereof. It is putting you in your place in the world from your perspective. So you might think you know where you stand in your career right now. The chances are people around you have opinions, and you don't always necessarily think. I don't think you're the type of sign that sits around and thinks, I wonder what so-and-so thinks of me. Because you're a Pisces, chances are you kind of already know a lot of the time with people. But it would surprise you with this full moon and the Jupiter aspect how people may convey a negative opinion towards you that isn't exactly what it seems. People around you may be giving mixed messages. And the reason they're giving mixed messages, Pisces, is because of this mirroring effect, whereby your messages are not clear. If you're dealing with an air sign or somebody who puts a lot of emphasis on logic and rationale, they don't understand where you're coming from, because one minute you are this Page of Cups, soft, sentimental, sweet thing, the next minute you're the Page of Swords and you're kind of cutting, kind of detached. They don't get it. So it will surprise you to hear on this full moon what people really think. And I do say to exercise that with caution, because if somebody's angry at you, the chances are they're not being honest. You could be dealing with people in your life, Pisces, that are really very defensive or really very different in their emotional approaches, and it's not necessarily the most compatible. Gemini season is tricky for Pisces because you get this square aspect, and I can see it very clearly here actually, and it's caused you a lot of discomfort with certain things. There's been miscommunication in some relationships that are very important to Pisces people, and it's given you complete lack of clarity. It's given you this complete confusion as to where you stand with people. But it's very likely here, Pisces, that the feeling is mutual. It's very likely that you're not necessarily coming across as the sweet Page of Cups that you are during Gemini season. And as we move into Cancer season, we move out of all this air energy into a Two of Wands, let me gather my thoughts style perspective. Now, one more card, the Hanged Man. It's time to reassess. It's not the time to act, Pisces. The end of June is not the time to be making big decisions. You're going to enjoy Cancer season. It's going to be a big party for you in many ways, but it's also going to be a time where if you've been wasting time and energy on petty friendships and relationships, you're probably going to eclipse them out in July. And not only that, but your health and well-being becomes so much more important. You know, the things that are truly dear to your heart become a lot more important in July. Instead of this mind game of what should I be doing and where should I be and who should I be with, the indecision that you've been feeling will all become clear in July. Until then, what you have to do is let this full moon give you the facts, give you the opinions, give you the voices that you actually were missing. Because whenever your ruler goes retrograde, you might have a lot of reassessment for yourself. And that's good because that's growth. You maybe need a little bit of downtime to figure out where you need to be, because coasting, Pisces, is something that you can also do and get in the habit of. And sometimes you have to feel dissatisfied to let you know that you're coasting and you deserve better. Six of Swords in the positive position. You're moving toward something new, something better. Okay? You're moving towards new land, new promises. And to be honest, Pisces, there is a person here, so you're not alone in doing so. You're not going to be feeling lonely in Cancer season. In fact, I sort of get the vibe you might at times feel a bit overcrowded. So if you're worried about loneliness, that's not something you should be frightened of. Okay? The Hanged Man and the Two of Wands is saying that you need time to think. And if you don't give yourself that time, you'll burn bridges before you have all the answers. So take it slow, Pisces. Use this as a lovely time of reflection, a time of self-analysis, and a time of gathering the information. Your indecision is there to stop you doing something rash. And you might want to rush in and say something for the sake of moving energy, but not always does that work. You have to see things from a different perspective, or you will repeat the same mistakes over. Because you've been working on yourself massively. But that soft, sweet, sentimental side to your personality is being neglected. And you need to get back to that feeling of self-appreciation and self-love and the magic. A Pisces person without that magic feeling, you know, if you don't indulge in your creativity, if you don't indulge in the things that make you happy, be it tarot, be it astrology, be it dancing, be it writing, be it creating, if you don't indulge in those habits, Pisces, you'll be unhappy. You must follow your bliss. And you're going on a little bit of a journey, and with the eclipse in Cancer next month, and then Capricorn as well, there's so much activity and problems going on in Capricorn that at times, Pisces, you don't quite know who in your circle you can trust and who you can't. But the chances are people have something to say, and I think you're going to want to hear it over the full moon, because either it will give you the information you need in terms of what they're telling you by their words, or you will know from what they say that they're actually revealing themselves. So whether it's about you and learning something about your behavior from the information you get, or whether you learn about the people you're surrounding yourself with by the information you get, full moon can be very telling, but it's also a wonderful time to listen to what it is that you truly want for yourself in this life, how you want to make your mark on the world. It's not a push to act by any means. It's a time to think. And if you're seeing the Hanged Man and you're thinking that's really dull, that's really boring, brace yourself, because you're going to regret not taking that rest in July once we get there if you don't take it. So I love you guys very much, Pisces, and I will see you in the next readings. Bye.